Hi, my name is Leena Sharma Seth, and this is Kale Black. We are so excited to be presenting an action planning workshop as a part of the Youth Inspire Community Day event happening with Dare to Be Youth Charity on November 9th. So let me introduce myself. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm the founder of Mending the Chasm, a consultancy that works with leaders and businesses and organizations who are really ready to build inclusive cultures from the inside out. And I've been doing equity work. I'm passionate about this work. It's a calling of mine, and I wanted to see what I could do to build a community that we all feel like we belong in and feel safe in.
Hi, and my name is Kale Black. My pronouns are he, him, and I have been working with Mending the Chasm for a few years now. I consider myself what I call a holistic environmentalist. So I've been involved in the environmental field and working with young people for about 14 years now here in Burlington, which has involved a lot of planning and organization in order to keep these things running as opportunities that people can participate in. So this is just a little trailer for our workshop, just to give you a little bit of a taste for Leena and I, and how much fun you're going to have if you sign up to attend. And we just want to answer two questions for you. So the first one is, why is planning important? And hearing from Leena and I as to why we think that this workshop is an exciting topic that you guys would want to participate in. And then just a little bit of information to explain why Leena and I are such excellent people to learn from and why you're going to have such a great time with us. So I'm just going to go ahead and ask Leena her perspective on why you think planning is important.
For sure, as someone who has worked to advance community action on really tough problems like poverty, equity for folks who experience marginalization, whatever the issue, and I've had to involve many other people in this work because, as you can appreciate, and I know, Kale, you understand this, is that, and these are the words of Assata Shakur, actually, that without the support of the people, no movement for liberation can exist. And so while we may each individually have a passion to see change in our schools and our communities, we have to know that we need each other to do that work. And so one of the things that I have really appreciated about making action planning a friend of mine is that the opportunity to bring in diverse voices to create action planning that is really something that everybody sees themselves in, that everybody helped to decide what is the problem? How might we solve this problem together? Why is this problem important to us? And so having some of those discussions gives space and place in the community for more people to get involved, because when we're talking about things like climate justice, racial justice, disability justice, whatever the cause, we need community to make the change happen. And so for me, in a really simple way, when you have an action planning process, it's also an invitation to bring other people to the table. What about you, Kale? Why is planning important to you?
I think it's a very practical tool. And I think it's very important because we can all have all sorts of different emotions and passions and feelings towards different subjects, and whether that's healthcare, whether that's environmental justice, whether it's social justice, equality, women's rights, LGBTQ plus rights. We all have things that we care about. But if we don't take the time to sort of bring ourselves into a focused effort, and I like what you were saying just about like having everyone at the table, which is a great place to start, and making sure that everybody's voices are contributed so that we can all sort of bring our brains together and make our minds one, which makes everything that we're doing a lot more effective. And I think that's very important. If there's anything that we're passionate about, that we just try our best to be as effective as we can at it. And if you don't have planning involved, which sometimes can be something people avoid, it's not going to have the biggest impact that you want it to. And it brings us quickly to our second question of why you would want to learn from Leena and I. And obviously, I've been working with Leena for a while, so I know that you were also lucky. But I'll let Leena sort of answer for herself why what sort of expertise she brings to the planning side and her experience.
Thanks so much, Kale. And I'd say right back at you. Both of us, I'd say, have been at the helm of trying to facilitate deep community change, change behavior for the betterment of our environment or the community, whatever that is. And so for me, I think as someone who has really championed equity and worked in service of this for a large part of my career, I'm not as young as you folks, but I've had the time. I'm going to say I've had the time to make mistakes, to learn from those mistakes, and really to appreciate um, some tips and tricks, because I also say not all action planning processes are created equal. And what you're going to see in this workshop is a really simple, accessible process that really anybody, so whether this is your first time organizing, whether you're a seasoned organizer, maybe you're like, I've been doing this for a couple of years in school now or in my community with students and fellow peers. But whatever your experience is, our process is going to be accessible. And so as someone who has, as I said, learned from my mistakes, been a part of deep community change. I led a project where a lot of different leaders in the community had to come together and agree on how we were going to solve a tough problem. And so that problem was poverty in our community. And again, it's an ongoing discussion, it's ongoing work, but I feel like I have passion for this work. I'm excited to be in conversation with young people in this community, the change makers of our world. And really, I would say I'd offer candy, but since it's virtual, I also can't promise that. So what about you, Kale? Why do these folks need to learn this from you?
Before I talk about myself, I just want to highlight Leena a little bit more in like a very practical sense. Is this entire day is about something that Leena has been working on and for decades, and has a lot of experience. And I would say that for all of us, we're looking to activate our passions in a way that like Leena has been able to, and has like her entire business sort of run around creating really tangible action in this topic that we're all learning about today. So I'm excited to learn from Leena. And I would say for myself, I have been running the Burlington Green Youth Network for about 14 years now, and have planned 11 holistic health and wellness expos. So as I introduce myself, a holistic environmentalist, it's two of my main passions, which is the environment and people's health. And hilariously, I do not have a natural brain set for planning and organization and structure. I am the least likely candidate, but I am also one of the most passionate people that you will meet about these issues. And that's what has sort of inspired me to do tools like this and to learn tools from people like Leena, like action planning. I have my planner here that I do like absolutely nothing without. If it wasn't for these tools that I have learned, these very practical tools, I would not have been able to do the things that I have been able to, which have made an impact on the things that I care about. So I know everyone watching this video, you care very deeply about the subjects and the topics that you're interested in. And I would say if I can do it with my sort of brain wiring, anybody can do it. So if you don't feel like a natural planner, it's hard for you to envision sort of maybe creating larger campaigns, structures, events, anything. There are very easy tools that are available that can really help turn a lot of that inspiration into solid, tangible things. So we're excited to share that with you. We can't wait to have you at our workshop. So hopefully you enjoy it and hopefully you participate in it. And I'm sure you're going to learn a few helpful things that will hopefully, help to make our impact that much bigger.
Thanks so much. We'll see you soon.